I'm Joe.
Hi, Joe.
Hi, Joe.
My YouTube platform is Joe VT.
Cool, great. And he's gonna be videoing this so it can go up on YouTube, and then he's gonna share it on some of the community groups so that they know what we're doing.
That's right.
So let's go around and say
Start in the middle.
right in the middle.
John Linsky,
And you're a board member.
board member, yeah.
Cool. And where do you work?
I work at the food bank.
Nice. Very cool.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're
we're
going
going
this
that
way.
way. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Bugs.
Surprise.
Counterclockwise.
Yes, okay. Volunteer, how's that?
Cool.
Yeah.
Multi-volunteer.
No, just a volunteer.
And I'm Heidi Bell, I'm the Sheridan City Manager.
And my name is Takasia Heider and TK, and I'm the president.
Sweet. And I am Ashton Sanders. I am the vice president. Today I'm also trying to get secretary working, taking meeting notes as well.
I'm Ann Meyer, I'm treasurer.
Dorothea Lee, volunteer.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so
I like how the treasurer has a pile of
yeah.
Yes.
As she should.
Cash.
And we'll block that out.
Yeah, blur that out.
You could win.
money.
Did all the board members have a chance to review the minutes from last month?
It's been a month, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I didn't write it out immediately, I did read them.
Okay.
That was a long time.
Yeah.
It's been an entire month.
Yeah.
I make a motion to approve last month's minutes.
Okay, second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, anyone not? Okay, motion passes. Okay, so the next thing is review of action items last month. Are you able to?
Loading, I got them.
Great.
So we have just agenda and old action items. Some of these we have gone over last month, so I'm gonna run through these quickly.
Okay.
I can't silence my phone from over here, sorry. TK to reach out to Sheridan High School,
Yep,
Adrian Student Council, hold on. And reach out to Mary Ann with the names and numbers for the
This is
sandbag.
all from the- Oh, yes.
For the sandbag.
Yeah, we have, I think we have, let me look at how many volunteers we have.
You told me 10.
I think it's around 10.
I saw the thing on Facebook, I just didn't read it.
Yeah, one, two. I had one, but there was the one from Willamina, and I called the Willamina City Hall and got all information, I gave it to her.
Okay, that was very
One,
good.
two,
Thank you.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16!
Whoa.
That was more than I thought. Okay, great. I mean, some of them are couples, but this is two people. Yeah, that's legit.
Yes.
Okay, good. And then, what else?
Contact Joy,
Yes,
about murals. Is that gonna be, we're gonna go over that today, or was that something?
that was last time.
Yeah, so then. Action items from last month.
Oh, okay.
TK to contact Susan from
I
Seabreeze.
did.
Nice.
That
And
is done. She's very excited and is going to come to probably our next meeting in January.
great,
She would definitely like to.
that's awesome. She's a great resource to have.
Yes, great.
TK to request volunteers for sandbags,
Yeah,
already
that's
done. TK to check with Saul if they're available for a pickup on Saturday.
That we changed
Yeah.
to something else.
To check with Stacy to see if the flyers are
That's
ready.
done.
I reached out to Heidi about the top places we should focus.
Yeah.
Clean up, and then table at the bazaar.
Table at Bazaar.
Did we talk about a table at the bazaar?
Let's talk about
I mean, we're having a table, that's what we kind of need to discuss tonight.
Well, we're doing on that.
Right.
But we did we register a table or did we
It's free.
just bring a table and they'll give us a space?
Well, no,
I-
because they have like, I'm sorry, 25 vendors already signed up. So if we do, then we might be out in the hallway.
Oh, is it
that-
inside?
It is inside,
Yeah.
all inside in the
That's
hall or the
That might be okay to
cafeteria.
be out in the hallway, let
Okay.
you come and go.
Yeah,
So, yeah, so that's something we have to discuss, I guess. we can
It's
do.
tomorrow.
Yes, it's
yeah, they're
tomorrow
setting
and
up right
Saturday.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I told Stacy we were gonna be there, whether, and then but you just texted her. so-
I just texted her. I know she's in the middle of setting it up.
She might be too busy to respond.
Should I say,
You know,
do we have a table?
I mean, we will have it, I have a very small wooden table, but it doesn't, it's not flat. flexible and I'm not gonna be there.
I can bring tables.
Rep.
I just need one small one to do that.
So who's going to be there tomorrow and Saturday?
I didn't even know they're open tomorrow. When are they opening tomorrow?
9 o'clock, I think.
Yeah,
in the
I
morning.
think it's 9 to
9 to
4.
9 to 4.
So are we gonna be there, anyone that can be there tomorrow, or we're just gonna do on?
I can definitely not do tomorrow.
I can't even.
I can't do it.
Me either.
Do we wanna just do it on Saturday? Can anyone do it on Saturday?
Definitely planning Saturday.
Okay, so Verizon rep Ashton and maybe Ann?
I cannot be there Saturday, that's.
Okay, Ashton.
I have a question.
You come Saturday?
Ashton.
Is that our birthday?
I can do,
Ashton,
I can do 2 hours
will
on
be
Saturday,
there
but then I
on
have to split out to get
Sat.
ready for the
Yeah.
to
parade.
Yeah, I gotta do the parade too, so.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't come.
Table and
I'm doing
represent. Do
Food bank
we
stuff.
need to bring
Saturday,
a
not Friday.
table?
Not tomorrow.
Yes,
Saturday.
if you
So-
bring a table, it's
Yeah.
free.
Okay,
So, and I can be there at lunchtime well, as soon as I'm done, as soon as
Can
surgeries
we
are done tomorrow,
set-
I can be there for.
so I should say, can we set up at lunch tomorrow, or can we set up on Saturday?
It'll be
Saturday.
Saturday.
Can we set up on Saturday morning? Question mark? Okay,
It's a computer nerd's definition of morning too. It'll be like 11:30. Real early.
Well, anytime's better than done.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just if there's a space we can
sure.
bring a table to.
There'll be a space.
We did, in the Sheridan cleanup, I brought tables, make highway sign, yeah, we did all that.
oh my
That's
gosh, did we actually get every single
Well,
one of them?
apparently I didn't get the table for the bazaar, so.
Oh,
Seven to
you're
zero
so
bazaar. I know.
close,
I realized
actually.
I actually just need to reach
So
out.
close.
I'm like, I feel like I've got an old text that I didn't actually just follow up on.
If you wanna, I have my brown table that I always bring, if you want it.
We'll text. I'm
Okay.
pretty sure I've got too many
Okay.
tables listed.
Yeah, it's a small one.
I brought those to
Oh,
bring for tonight, good.
I had a question, what is the Sheridan Revitalization?
What
What
is
is
it?
Yeah,
That's
what
a
is it?
great question. So,
It's not on the minutes, we can't do that now.
no. We are a group that was formed, I think we started talking about it in 2016, but we officially formed in 2017. And we started meeting when the coffee shop was over there, and we would meet, I think we would meet in the evening, we've always met in the evening. And it was just a group of citizens, people that were interested. It originally started as a cooperative effort with the chamber, because at the time I was the chamber president, so it started, and I think Leo and I were like the first two founding members. Leo Crick, who was our vice president for a while, he's lives in town as well.
I'm gonna read off the website. Yeah,
Great.
the Sheridan Revitalization mission is to organize a group of people interested in revitalizing the city of Sheridan to explore and implement solutions to improve the image and vitality of Sheridan. So that includes everything from, oftentimes it'll just be businesses or just be we're kind of open to whatever the members, this is a group that if members bring ideas, whether it's murals or trash cleanups or whatever, we're here to just help.
Yes.
So-
That's a really good
You
point.
serve as the Oregon Main Street. group,
Yes,
which
that's
is
also,
super important.
yeah,
Piece
so
to
they're
the city.
Oregon Main Street, in order to be able to access those grants and the resources, you have to have within the city an organization. So we are
A
officially,
nonprofit.
nonprofit, so we are officially the organization that represents that. And he brought up a great point that oftentimes for the chamber, there were businesses, and that's what we were finding is there was individuals that wanted to participate and do something and help with the revitalization, but it didn't really fit within represent business, so that's also why this was kind of created, to have it be more you can be part of anything, business owner, citizen, whatever, it doesn't matter. You can
It's a little broader.
It's
Yeah.
a little broader, exactly, and then
The
we
chamber only met during the daytime, and some of us
Exactly.
could never make a daytime. meeting.
exactly, yeah.
Even
Yeah.
though we have a business in town.
Yeah, so that's kind of it, and we are, while we do have some formality to the meetings, we're also purposely
Loose.
casual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the.
More personal.
Yeah, because I don't think we don't necessarily need to have it be as formal as, let's say, like a city council meeting or whatever. And so this is also a great introduction to a group start very small and just do a little bit, or even just come and get information and find out what we're doing, or give suggestions or whatever. So it's a good stepping stone to.
Like what was, when Rich Cox wanted to redo the sign, that Sheridan sign, like that's one of the things, like, he like came to us, he was like, I need help to do this, and we put together the manpower, and went out and cleaned out a bunch of the blackberries, and helped him figure out how to get the signs up, I helped him figure out how to make them, and
Now it's the background is really.
he never really got to it. So like, even on the, it's always really neat.
Yeah.
You're talking about the big sign that's way out there on Highway 18, coming from the coast.
Yes.
Yeah, there was
Yeah.
two, and they were both kind of falling down and not looking good. One we just took down entirely because it was also like a little bit too far away from Sheridan, and we couldn't. It was falling down to such degree that if we tried to rebuild it, we wouldn't be allowed by ODOT to rebuild. The other one, it was not fully falling down, so we could just like fix it up without having it be like we built a new structure. And we liked it because it was really big and it coming from the coast.
No, it's.
Is that
Yeah, that's
Summary?
perfect, yeah, that's
That's
great.
great. Stacy said, I will try to find something. I might be able to squeeze a small table, and we are booked. 34 vendors.
Ooh,
We'll figure something out.
Great.
That's great of us.
that's great for the first
So
year.
it's-
After we be out in the hall.
Write that
Just
down.
bring a big old, big, what do you call those buckets, just a big bucket with a bell, wow, English is not my thing.
Yeah, I mean, we just need a very small table to sell raffle tickets. We don't, I mean, that's.
Okay, yeah, I said small table.
Right, right.
Okay, good. That's exciting.
That's awesome, I'm so excited.
Yeah. Okay. What agenda?
Back to the agenda.
I'm gonna apologize. I am very tired. I got like 3 hours of sleep, so I'm a little more splattered than I normally am.
Scott, we got 57 minutes left. Not teasing.
Okay, you're. This is true.
He's the timekeeper.
They're a pair.
We finished.
What do we finish?
We finished the action items,
Or what
right?
did we finish?
Yes.
Treasurer's report. Now,
Alright, so treasurer's report, cash balance as of November 30th, $15,605.87. Treasury isn't a very big change from this October. We didn't actually, I mean, there was no change from October to November, so we didn't do anything, but that will change after tomorrow. After Saturday.
did Jason ever get you the reimbursement stuff? We should basically tell him he has like 30 days or we'll cut him off.
Yeah.
He's gonna have a
They
big
used to stay in
explanation.
Austria.
Yes, yes.
You know, make a note and then highlight them, tag and
So I was,
Austrian
Okay.
marks.
yeah, there we go. It's kind of like Lucy was here, because Lucy had tickets too.
I thought Lucy was coming tonight.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
Sometimes
Yes.
it comes late. 'cause
Yeah.
he's got-
So, I mean, of course, I don't know how much we have, I mean, I can, if I have a pen.
You don't need to do that right now, 'cause-
I can send out an email, I mean,
About how much do you think we have? I mean, like, you could just count the tickets, right?
I think I might hear her. I feel like I hear Lucy.
Oh, boy.
It's like Norm's.
I was actually at the office, I was working.
I said, I feel like I hear Lucy.
What, could you hear my voice or just me stomping?
No, we were just being like.
yes,
Good, yeah.
Sometimes they were just asking where be, and then there's,
Who's that?
that's
that's,
Joe.
that's.
Oh,
Joe
Joe.
Channel. Who's that?
That's my
Joe's
mom.
standing behind the camera.
They
Yeah,
let him be in.
no, he's gotta be in it.
He gets to be a member. You're a member now.
Way back here.
It means if
I'm
you
like
show up
citizen.
once.
And then I would have sold more, but my dog had salmon poisoning for a week and I was crazy.
I knew that.
Well, that's right.
I have seen
The vet
said
knew
dog.
You had to see, that's the first day I kind of had off and then it was like, I feel like they're getting excited for us. Oh, John's got my check. Oh, for that.
Yes.
Jason Abrams' notice has been posted.
Great.
There's actually, there's,
So-
yeah, no, there's his.
That looks not terrible. Look at the pile.
Yeah,
It's like 2 of the people.
My
are
brother
doing
was
this,
outside
not 3
with my
people.
image, I thought that's
Nice
how
little 10.
Well done.
Yes.
thanks
Yeah,
for
because
coming
it's,
to
it's,
see
from
us.
him or is that, no, that's not.
New agenda items.
Did Mary Ann have two?
Still working on
You had two, and then I always need one of Mary Ann.
1 for Mary Ann, 2 for me, and 6 for my brother. Because
Yes.
Kay told
Okay.
me if you buy 6,
You buy
I
five,
have to
you
get
get
one
one
free.
free.
Oh,
But that got busted in my bank, so.
not on the.
Alright, so.
It's not on the list.
So let's see. Gifts from John.
Anybody that can put down $50 ought to get a free ticket.
So am I saying?
Did,
So I guess what we need to decide.
Yes.
Once I
Thank you,
add
thank you.
all of this up, and then depending upon how many we sell.
I could probably sell a few more because I saw somebody today, but I had to get to this meeting.
Well,
right.
well, we
Did
have the
Stacy
bazaar on Saturday, it's not till Saturday.
Oh, it's not
Yes.
so sexy. You wanna give me my
You want your
tickets back?
tickets back? But Christina Hatch, she'll be there.
Yeah, you're right.
There is a Christina Hatch.
Okay, for anyone that might not know, this is for our holiday raffle where it's 50, so we get half, and then the remaining gets split into 3, and then we have a drawing on Saturday at the Christmas bazaar, holiday bazaar, which is at the
Sheridan High School.
Sheridan High School.
Which we're doing Saturday.
Saturday.
You will be there Saturday, but it's open on Friday.
At what time is
What
the
time are you
drawing?
gonna do it?
Be there?
No,
What time's
the
the
drawing.
Oh, sorry.
I know, I shouldn't have made such a hard question, I'm sorry. That was a tricky.
When, well, how long are you gonna be able to
Because
be
the
there?
parade starts at 6.
I have no idea what
Right,
time.
the tree lighting.
But I'm in the parade,
I think
so
shortly
I have to
after.
be at whatever at 5, so before 5.
Before 5, why don't you just say in the afternoon, so you don't put yourself
That's a
down.
great idea.
You don't have to be there, don't have to be present.
You don't have to be present to win, because I don't like we have a.
Do the drawing at the bazaar in the afternoon.
And then make sure to text
Is that
me
rain?
who the winners are, so that I can.
We will.
Oh, maybe it's later.
Could be
text
later,
groups.
And I do have some extra tickets. I mean,
Cool,
I
so,
printed
so,
up
cause
some.
that, passion
I
should
use
have as
some.
many as possible, so that we can sell that.
Oh,
Yeah.
I have some too.
Did you bring yours back, or what did you do, the ones you have?
I misplaced I gave you that money at cleanup, right? And then I couldn't find my tickets after that.
I can't,
I think I
yeah,
was
can we
around.
change subjects really quickly?
Yeah, I can
No.
just put it in the, so, again, if Stacy has it, I dropped off some with Stacy at the bulletin board.
I picked up the ones from you at the craft cleanup.
Right, yours and
Jason's.
Jason's. Right, yours and Jason's.
Sweet.
So, I will add up what we have,
Okay.
divide it in 3, I mean, I personally think, divide it in half, and then do
I did
do
6 or
3
7.
Yeah,
three drawings,
yes.
but of different denominations, so.
Yeah, getting smaller and smaller.
Right, so the first person, so the first person's name drawn out should get, depending upon what it is, like 250, let's say it's $500 altogether, the first
Oh,
person,
I thought we were splitting it, I mean, the way I communicated.
we said we had 3 winners.
Yeah, did you not say evenly?
Let's see.
Okay, it says 50% will be split by 3 winners.
It'll be split by 3 winners, doesn't say, it just says it's
And
gonna be
anyway,
split by 3
they don't know
winners.
how much we collect.
I have to read the fine print.
We don't know.
Yeah.
There's an asterisk. Ho, ho, ho.
Okay, as
That's
long
how I
as
do
we're
my
not,
speech.
as long as it seems like that's appropriate.
If it comes up on
I mean,
Facebook,
I just make it so
Okay.
different.
The
Just
first-
like, it's not $30 and 100 and.
they're gonna say
No,
something
no,
like
I
city
mean,
council on Twitter.
200, like
I
150,
don't
and
think
then 100, you know, so
I mean,
it's
if
just a
I
different.
want 100,
Scrooge
I'd
it.
be perfectly happy.
How about if you have any concern about what you text us and we'll coordinate on it, yeah.
So again, you'll just have to split whatever you sell.
I mean, figure out what the total
Okay.
Right, I'll split this in half
is, right?
and come by the clinic Saturday morning. Before you go to the high
Oh,
school.
is he gonna get up early enough to do that?
Well,
So
before,
11:30.
when you do it, because
So
I'm
you'll
at,
be there the whole day.
I'm at the clinic
Are
at
you
8 a.m.
saying because we need to know how much money, or that he's gonna give it out, because he's not necessarily gonna give it out then, right?
Well, if the winner happens to be at the bazaar, then yes, he could give it out.
Okay, okay.
And we can spend money at the bazaar.
That's true, right, I mean,
Okay, good.
so I will split this in half and then depending upon how much gets sold on Saturday.
Oh, I see, yes.
Or, yeah, and then you'll split that in half and then that'll get divvied into 3 different pots with the first drawn. And also, I mean, we didn't specifically say, but I mean, if, that was gonna be something I was gonna raise, if the same name gets drawn 3 times, does the person get all of it?
No.
Or if your name is drawn,
That's
Then
it.
if the
Right.
second one drawn is that same person,
Well,
that, no.
I don't know, because some people bought
Yeah.
multiple
But
tickets.
maybe the third one,
Right.
if it's the same person, that's okay, but not the second.
Not, oh, yeah, because I mean, maybe someone got 10, and therefore they would have a greater chance of.
But winning, and if they're the third one, okay, but not.
That's
No
not
for-
even a lawyer.
I mean, again, it's like, that's what we need to just.
Yeah,
Okay, I
we need to say that out loud before we pull the winner.
You're being filmed, so it's right here.
Oh.
Right, but I think I agree with what you're saying, the second one, no, but the third one, yes. I think that's good, cause
So-
it's
That's
also,
fair.
Well,
right?
I think what we just need to say, you can only have 2 prizes, cause you could be the first and the third,
Yes.
Right.
not the
Okay.
second. Your
Okay.
name, so your
Yes.
name can only be drawn twice.
Okay.
Either second or
Does
third.
that sound like it's?
That sounds fair to me.
So should, if let's say someone buys like 10 tickets, should you guys like put like a paper clip around the one?
No,
Because
no.
it's
Everyone
the
is
same
wrong.
for all
No,
those.
because that person also gets an extra ticket. When you buy 5, you get an extra ticket
Gotcha.
anyway,
Okay.
so you, without paying for it. So you've already increased your odds of being drawn. That's also what I was, it's like,
How many
well,
tickets have we sold?
Who's drawing
Ashton.
Apparently I'm the only one there.
I'm sorry.
No,
I
no,
don't-
last time I had a really nice lady help me, so maybe I'll just.
You will have someone else do it. I can say.
I will definitely have someone else do it.
Yeah, find some little
I didn't buy any
kid.
tickets.
It hasn't bothered you.
Yeah. So, I
We
mean,
should have Santa do it.
oh, yeah, there you go. Is Santa gonna be there?
Maybe.
Of course Santa's
Oh,
gonna
okay, then
be
we definitely
there.
need
Or
that.
Mrs. Claus.
Or Mrs.
Mrs.
Claus,
Claus.
or an
I don't
elf,
want kids to hear this at home, so be quiet.
Yeah.
Or-
Spoiler alert,
Jeez.
an elf.
with the city.
No.
Oh,
This is great.
so,
Is there,
so we need to decide, your name can be drawn twice, but not
Yes.
3 times.
But not 3 times, yes, I think that makes
I
sense.
second the motion.
all those in favor?
Aye. Just wanted to
Yeah,
get
English is hard.
clarification.
Those are good questions before we.
That is
get
very
into
good.
that hot
Very
topic.
good.
Because we didn't do it this way last time.
No, we only had
Should
one
we
winner.
Write
And
that like on the back of this for next time?
we,
Yeah, well, just make a note.
And-
I
Well,
already
this-
did that, yeah.
last year we had a ceiling, because the prize was not gonna be over $600.
Mm-hmm.
That
For
was
taxation.
for tax really as much, so,
Really?
I don't think so. I don't feel like it.
Oh, well.
So,
Guess that's where the lure comes into play.
That's what Saturday's for. guys.
that's what Saturdays, and I will text
So good.
Ryan, and I guess
So
if we,
We'll be in touch.
I don't know how many extra I have. An extra, but maybe, like I said, maybe Stacy, yeah, so if you can find yours,
I'm sure I
that
have.
would be an
some,
extra
yeah.
15. Or
And
did you,
Jason,
you-
I'm pretty sure
you
Jason
never-
already took his,
no, well then, yeah, you have an extra 30.
he loves leading stuff.
I feel really good about the tenants.
Okay, I'm really glad I sold 30.
I don't leave the
Yeah.
house, guys,
Thanks.
it's very hard.
So much to.
I don't
Also
leave the
the-
house either.
Dang
You
it.
sold 30?
Yeah.
Isn't that something?
She's carrying this entire
You should
501c on her back.
She should get a free ticket for selling it.
That's a kind of a fun idea.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Maybe you
Yeah,
talk
me
about
too.
one for yourself.
Next
Oh,
year,
she gets free
the
cocoa.
biggest.
Oh,
yeah.
You can have a good place in the parade
Next
like
year.
if you see.
Okay, I know it's
Okay, let's move on to, are we good on the treasury report?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so, so,
Good,
so
so
I'll just text you.
clean up. Is there anything that we need to note for next year besides the fact that I need to ahead of time start getting pickers? Because I think we have.
Pickers are
The
sad.
city's loss of pickers and our loss of pickers, I think we only had like 45 pickers.
Yeah,
altogether.
they were.
How do we lose
yeah.
viewers?
They get
Right.
broken, like they don't come back.
I will say my little Cub Scouts didn't break one.
That's.
I was amazed, and they were trying.
And there is kid pickers too, kid size pickers.
We didn't have any, did we?
No.
No,
No,
we
but
only
not
got
the
one.
little
We have
ones.
a-
Maybe
We should get
invest
some.
in kids like
So
that.
maybe just make a note that we need to maybe put like a couple $100 investment of our money and into buying some good pickers.
We'll do it.
Fine, fine pickers.
Oh, okay, cool.
The city will do
I
it.
think it would be
We'll
good.
do an investment,
You know,
but we
that
probably
area.
all need to put in $200.
Yeah, I
don't
think
know how
so.
much they are.
They are expensive, the good ones are like at least $16, $17 each.
Okay, so I'll have
Wow.
Sandy look around for us
Okay.
to make sure
maybe getting it in bulk. we would
Yeah.
do something.
And I think I see them at Harbor Freight too, right? Not that they have.
Yeah, where's the?
Yeah.
That's what Matt's saying. Yeah, there's
Are you
ones,
coming to me? Or just going?
I'm just
out?
getting a bulletin board.
there's ones that have the little.
So we all know what time it's
Yeah,
on.
so you should get a couple of different kinds, cause there's more heavy duty ones, there's ones that pick up like a little tiny thing with a little less.
I'm taking it easier way.
Okay.
Do we know how many pounds of trash?
Oh, I think it was like 300 and something.
Okay,
And
thank
you
you.
get your
300.
But the year amount.
The year
we
truck
figured out
gets
too
weighed
for us, for our.
on the trash chute,
No.
on the trash.
Yeah, it was a combined one, the combined.
There was one very
That was like
compressed truck.
It was 800, yeah, the
So
combined.
he just charged
For the
me.
year. This is
Combined for
really
the year.
impressive
Yeah,
amount.
Okay.
You have something that's impressive, guys.
I'm so impressed.
For the year.
For the year, it was something like 800, it was 840 pounds for the combined cleanups.
Yes, that's a lot.
That's a lot of garbage on the
That's like
streets.
a ton.
Yay.
Think about
That's
it.
amazing.
It was a lot because of, Sheridan, well, not Sheridan anymore, but it was that parade.
The first
Cleanup?
pickup?
Yeah,
We do it in the
Litter.
spring, and we do one in the spring, and we do one in the fall. So
And
there's
those two cleanups together.
two cleanups combined
It
are,
was November, wasn't it?
yeah, so we usually do it
So-
around Earth Day, cause they solve that, and then we do it in November, and we know that it's late in the year, but it's because we wanna have to be really nice for the holiday parade.
And that's a citywide one.
And then the citywide one has been in the summer, moved in the summer this year.
Yeah, we're doing it now outside of the Barbara Roberts Career School at that place. It is much better suited for the amount of traffic we get and how we have our dumpsters laid out.
That's not a litter pickup,
We
that
have to wait
is,
for the school to get out.
that is where people can
Dump bar.
bring their bigger items and that kind of stuff in there, so they're, it used to be combined, but now they're separate, which would, can be a little bit confusing, but
Yeah, I
the
know.
ones we do are
We need different
litter, and
names
the
for
ones
them.
the city does are, like bulk
Hardcore
items.
garbage.
Yeah,
We need different names.
I started saying litter pickup,
For you.
yeah, litter
Yeah,
pickup.
that's a good idea.
But it's because it used to be like the citywide cleanup, and it was two things, the
Yeah.
pickup and the dump thing, so it's just kind of rebranding, so it's known as a different thing.
I will say one thing, we were assigned that kind of nice neighborhood beyond the high school back there.
On Jefferson?
And, yeah,
Okay,
there wasn't much litter. There were
Oh.
a couple houses,
okay.
their whole front yard and sidewalk and gutter were full of litter, but there wasn't much there. I mean, we
Okay,
managed to
okay.
get
Okay, good.
some, but if there was somewhere else that
Sure.
needed it more,
Okay,
that could easily be skipped
Okay.
or only done once a year.
Yeah.
So that area by the railroad where you said we need to talk to the sheriff, there's a ton of litter. So if we could get, and the sheriff was there that day, I saw him.
I will add.
The owner must have been there.
After
because
the
sheriff-
scouts, we
but that
took a
would
bunch
be-
of the little
there's-
kids up
We
towards
could,
the.
yeah, there's probably as much
We saw
trash as
them
we picked up.
crossing
Gold
the-
medal, yeah.
crossing
Is
the-
that
And
a
we
really
hit that
public
spot too,
area,
and
or is that
mostly
like
was done, but we
a
found,
public
we actually got a lot of trash, like,
It's not
little
real public,
side
but I'm
things,
just
I don't know
thinking
if they found it all.
trash
Little
there.
tiny.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's
lots of
all-
little
it's-
bits and like
it's to the-
candy wrappers and stuff.
That
Yeah.
line of what this side of the
Because
railroad
maybe
tracks.
you went there before we did, because we saw it
Maybe
improve
you said it was
crossing
already
the
on
Yeah.
the road, so I don't know if we can do it or not,
Maybe you
but
got it all before
there's a
we
lot
got
of
it.
trash in there.
We found, like I said,
There was a couple,
houses where
there
the
was a
people
couple,
are,
there's a couple
you know,
of
that
homes
little
in there and
peanut
some
character
were,
that drops
one
the
was
litter
being
bucket.
used and there,
those
and there was a
people live
lot of
there.
trash.
Okay, yeah.
Just a thought.
I don't think Portland
Did the
was
home have an RV parked beside of it? A big old RV?
No, this was
Okay.
more
That
modern
wasn't
car.
So,
Right.
so maybe what we should do is try to refine, I know that the maps were awesome, but maybe we should try, especially if we don't have as many volunteers, we should try to concentrate on like the worst
Like
locations.
priority, like.
Priority,
zone two,
yes,
zone
the priority
zone four.
locations.
So
So
who's
that-
gonna decide on the
That would
priority?
help
Maybe
if
we should
Heidi
just-
got back to you.
Maybe we should just coordinate with the city, like a week ahead of time and just do, let's say,
Send Kenny up. Kenny got it.
the create a list of like the four
Well-
priority areas.
Well, the city has a brand new street sweeper and it is the most amazing thing ever.
That's what I
And so
heard.
Hopefully, we also are picking up
Do you
more
do ride-ons?
that way. We can do ride-ons. We can now pick up, during these heavy rains, we were operating it even. Because, I have like goosebumps. Like it's so awesome. And
This
it's
is
so
what I
cool.
get goosebumps.
It is so cool because what that means too is like the localized flooding that happens over top of catch basins, so we can get that. So during the heavy storms, all the leaves are coming down and
Yeah.
everything is going right, and you have all this activity.
So it's
Like,
like
so you can-
industrial strength.
And you can grab it all, and then just the water goes down into the catch
Oh,
basin.
that's so
or it can
satisfying.
Even it can even suck it up like through a big vacuum through it to empty out your catch basins. Like when there's a big flooding, oh my gosh, it's like night and day.
a video.
Well, we're gonna do. Oh my goodness, why didn't you? Okay, so we're doing a naming competition between the high school and the FCS. We can have Delphi join if we like.
Yeah.
And so we're doing a little program that educates kids about not littering, the importance of not littering, and just about keeping our rivers clean, and just the importance of a street sweeper.
That's exciting.
I know it's really fun.
Well,
Yeah,
how did the
it's
city afford
And
it?
well, it's been a long time coming to afford it, but yes,
Okay.
it was $234,000, as much as the house, just about. Yeah, it's very expensive. We had budgeted for $250,000 and we got 15,000 less. So we are also applying. We didn't make it for the first round of grants, but we're hoping for a second round of grants to help get some money for that. But it is not fuel efficient. I found out by the way. It has 2 motors and it gets about 7 miles a gallon.
But it is gas.
So you're not driving the Mac.
Okay,
It
this
is
that's
It's
cheaper
gas.
than
Stay
diesel.
And it is designed to be able to go out onto the road. So like if any of our neighboring cities decided that they needed to
Rent a street
rent
sweeper.
it, yeah.
Ooh.
And we got the one where it doesn't require like a CDL to drive it too, so it's more opportunities for more people to drive it.
That's very cool.
It is, it's really cool. So hopefully you've seen it out in action. I feel like Public Works can't stop driving it.
Jared
Dude,
loves
it's
to
I'm doing it
use
over
it
every
so-
day, you know?
Does it have, does it have orange and blue lights?
Yes, it looks very similar. It's the same brand as our last one,
Uh-huh,
but it doesn't look as held together by
Okay.
Band-Aids.
okay.
Yeah, the last one was going to be a real money sucker.
And
Oh,
taking
awesome.
money from suckers, $200.
800.
Are there specific days that the sweeper operates
Well,
specifically?
we're going to work on that. We're going to start to have a schedule, but right now we just wanted to get ourselves out there, figure out how long it takes to do certain, we gotta test the waters. I'm trying to make all the street sweeping jokes on here and nobody is.
Do we know when, are there any days that trash is not picked up in Sheridan? Like I know we're Fridays.
I think shared all of
I
us.
think
share.
all
All
the
of
Sheridan's
Sheridan's Friday. Yeah, excellent. That
Cool.
makes it simple.
Unless there's a holiday somewhere.
Right.
No, right.
You should take some video of it. Look at your
Oh, I would
newest
love that.
amazing.
And so the naming competition wasn't all my idea. The city of Oregon City did it very similar thing, and so we're copying it. But their kid there, she got the one that won. It was named like 3P Sweepio or something.
Can you put
I
I things on it?
know.
Oh, that's
cute. Okay, yeah. So getting distracted. Sorry. No
Yeah, guys, what are we actually here for?
Okay,
To talk about street sweepers.
if it's relevant.
It's glitter.
It was good.
Okay, good, I
Wait,
think.
any last notes on,
Any
can we
last
do
notes
anything
on-
better for trash cleanup next year?
I think.
Tables worked?
Well, we
Tables
could
work.
use extra help on the overpass up there. It was Jim and I.
Oh,
And
yeah.
we were outgunned. I mean, we filled 3 of those huge bags. We could have done a 4th
And is
one.
that something that's safe
I
for the
think so.
kids to be able to go on?
No, it's
So maybe
adults.
what we need to do is create Friday locations that are adult only.
Yeah.
Like, I
You're
wouldn't
not talking about
necessarily
the
want.
one,
Heading towards the
guys
coast.
rated
Okay.
That way and then.
I mean,
like
but that's the
I
thing,
say,
like,
the
it's
one headed
the
towards
liability of
Nashville.
like, if they come to
Yeah,
us and we
that's-
say,
it's not-
go
I
do that
wonder
trash
if
cleanup,
it's
like, there's a
Well,
liability.
I think it'll does it, but I don't know that.
You know, I haven't went
solid
that way for a while,
I
so.
know.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why I always
One
can.
out of town, Leo.
Yeah, Leo cleans this side,
How often? Because
trash cleanups.
I was wondering if maybe the exits could be cleaned up more frequently.
but does the exit belong to us or does it belong to the state?
Yeah, it belongs to the state.
I mean,
They used to have the.
But also-
Grizzly
But
guys.
they
Good answer.
don't have maintenance crews at all right now. Like, it is.
Well, I've never seen,
Not at all,
they
they're
pick up
just-
trash, but I never see them on the
Little
exit or
minus,
on
you know,
this.
is highway.
They are they've told me they're very limited in the amount of people they have on their maintenance crews. So maybe getting the SCI to do it.
That's what they used to
do.
a while ago.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll ask
SCI
them.
used to.
I'll ask the
If they don't, then maybe we could do like a volunteer willing to do this. This is not necessarily undersold. This is like you're willing to.
We'd wanna get.
Do you wanna figure out if
We
that's?
wanna get all the signage and all that.
Well, I know. I think we must be.
Yeah.
Safety sake,
Yeah,
Put it down that I reach out to the guys that run the one in Rome. I think it's that's what
make
we
some
did.
kind of announcement,
We-
or do
they
you have any of
asked
those
us,
flashing
and I had to say no,
signs
because
that,
it felt like we couldn't
Well,
do that.
we
But
have
they
ones
have
that say
to
event
do
in
the
it.
highway. That's
Yeah,
what
something
they
like
do.
that.
Put on us, they go on the highway.
cause that is really bad in there.
Well, I know in the past, like the first year we did it, we had somebody at the entrance, kind of telling people to slow down on Leo and I, we're cleaning, so we kind of
I
had people
think
at the entrance.
That was mildly rebel related, like we were not necessarily saying that was what we sent people to do.
Right,
It was more like within.
Yeah,
our
she was
core
saying
group.
right, it's
What
just,
is
we
this?
had people at the front,
Yeah.
telling people.
Oh, but the people that are like, don't go fast.
Right, just telling, like, work
Slow
ahead,
down.
slow
Yeah.
down,
John, we
right.
have orange signs at the city that say event in progress or event in.
Oh,
That's right,
okay,
I do
yeah,
do that
yeah,
one
yeah,
time.
yeah.
So
Okay, that would be
We'll
cool.
use those. Gotta make sure we're putting those out for the parade again.
Okay,
I
cool,
think we already-
great. Okay, and we're not gonna talk about the code enforcement thing, that's the mayor and city council are gonna work on that more before they bring it back to us. So,
Okay.
that's for later. Update on Heider building, I don't have more of an update than the last one, which
Bummer.
was not that long ago, actually. I sent it around to everyone.
So
They're doing stuff, cause I see stuff.
So the mayor has asked him to submit for every council meeting a update on what he's
Yeah.
doing. So you'll start to see, so I'll make sure you're
He
on
did the
first,
last one, which was
and then.
like a month ago.
When are
That's
council
what,
meetings?
so they're on the third Monday of the month.
Yeah, so he did do
has to
that one.
submit them by like next Wednesday or
Okay,
Thursday morning,
okay.
so you'll have another one. I
Okay.
imagine then.
Great.
And then I copy and paste his email and put it right into my city manager report.
Okay.
So
Okay, cool, yeah, cause I need to work on
I'm gonna
the end of the year. Remember,
Oh, the report.
we were supposed to do the report in spring, but we ran into those issues with the new plan not being fully approved through their whatever it's called, Joy. She has very specific, I think I always forget it. To make sure that the historical things that we agreed that were gonna be part of the grant were happening, and that the new plan, because he had to do a new plan for upstairs and the stairs and the opening. So, that caused a delay because our submission got rejected because they needed to come out and see and approve the new plan, which they did, and that was the great tour that the three of us had, and, where I took the photos and all of that. So, what I need to do is get all of the new stuff that he's done, and I believe I got permission from Joy and the other person I work with at Oregon Main Street to put it all in one and not have to submit one and then one.
Mhm.
So hopefully we can just do it all in one and have that be, that it's up to date. But he's not, as far as I'm aware, at the point to trigger his ability to get a reimbursement. We're not there yet.
I don't think so.
No, yeah, so we're still submitting just information, not reimbursement.
Mhm.
Any questions?
Like the later phases. too.
And
Yes.
that's the Oregon Main Street, right? To the Oregon Main Street grant that we.
Yes, that's for the Heider building for the Oregon Main Street. And as far as I'm aware, the Huntley will not have any work done until the Heider is done, because then he'll take that and then be able to do that. But financially also just focus on one than the other. Okay. How are we doing in time? Are we a little bit behind?
Yeah, we got 30 minutes.
Okay, any update for the mural committee? Have we heard from,
Mural committee.
have we heard from
The girl,
Natalie?
Yes.
No?
I didn't bother reaching out, because she can't do
Okay.
anything until next spring now.
Okay.
Especially with an atmosphere.
Okay, cause I
But
think,
yeah,
the last thing was, would she be fine if we just put a bulletin board there? If you could ask her that, like, if she doesn't want to fix it, we were looking at the idea of having that be a community bulletin board, and maybe we could do like a grant to get like a $500-$600 like you know, whatever.
Enclosed waterproof
Enclosed ones are
case.
like the kind that you slide, you can stick the thing and
Yeah.
slide it back like that's over there, maybe something like that.
I could get a hold of the guy that did the one at the Sheridan Select Market, cause I
That would
put
be
my ad
nice.
there.
Yeah.
He's a real nice guy.
Even if you could ask him to just take a peek and give an estimate of what he thinks, obviously we'd have to reach out to the building owner too. Make sure. Little detail. Have to make sure that, okay, but it would be good to find out if it's even like financially feasible for us to do that.
I'm sure.
Because then it wouldn't look like we
I'm sure
just
I can-
forgot to do the
It's
middle of that.
It's
Okay.
so high. The
Is it
top
really
part of
high?
it, yeah.
Oh,
Well, what
okay.
they would do is you would put
Do
your
it on the bottom.
advertisement like I do at Select Market, I'm on the top.
Oh, that's
The
nice.
big
And
one.
then they
It's a
pay for
fundraiser
that,
Oh, yeah,
they pay for that yearly,
okay.
and then put your bulletin board underneath, just like what they do at Select Market. You can take a look at it next time.
Okay. Okay, cool. Good. Okay, good. So I think that's good on the mural committee, cause it's rainy season.
Well, and then the fundraising from here is to go for the signs with Reese's on the corners, the finger signs,
Okay.
cause that was $1,200, right?
I think it was, I have it in my
I have
house.
it here, actually. Wasn't that how much you quoted?
That's probably the detailed bills now, yeah, I'm trying to do that.
Yeah, the total cost is $1,200.
I gotta
Did we
say,
find out if how many arms that would include? Directional things?
6 hands, so if we have 6 hands total, 2 signs with 3 hands each. For that corner, the total cost will be $1,200. This includes all material cost, design, and production times.
that's right, I just know.
So, so we're, you know, we have,
Does that include installation? It doesn't say that.
Yes, it does.
Okay.
So, back to murals a little bit here. I don't know if this group remembers, I hope maybe not fresh in your mind, I guess. The city had worked with its public art group to submit for $5,000
Yes,
to
I do
do a
remember.
mural. And we still haven't heard, so
Okay,
I don't
yes.
have all this laid out.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, we still haven't heard yet. But, I just don't want you guys to forget about that.
No,
So-
we talked about it last week. Yeah, we talked about it
Yeah,
last
we
week.
talked about it last time, and one of the things that I had brought up last time is if we find out we actually are awarded the grant, is to reach out to Hampton Lumber.
Because we could, maybe they could help sponsor it if we put like one of the things.
I mean, it's one of the I would assume one of the cars on the train would have logs on it because.
Oh, I see where you're going. It's like costs
Because-
happening.
Because it's a meat, it's a half and half.
It's, you know, because, I'm assuming if we're gonna try to do some kind of historical type train, that log, some
I see
sort
where
of
you're
logging.
going. Very good idea.
So I thought, but I was only gonna approach Hampton if we got the grant.
Yeah.
I know I had thought about doing something kind of wild too, which hasn't been accepted by everybody, but I thought it'd be kind of fun to have a button on it that made like a train noise.
I actually thought it'd be kind of cool is to, if the train had a plow, you know, like like they're supposed to, is to have that on the corner, so it's actually a 3D train.
Ooh, that's
Oh,
really cool
that would be
too.
really neat.
If that's historically.
And we had a very lively discussion about what
How
Bigfoot would be
Right,
doing.
right.
Standing on the top of the
Or
train.
he could be the
But
engineer.
If that's
He could be the
historically
engineer.
correct,
Yeah.
that would be really.
As long as it also smokes when you hit the button.
Right, there you go, like the old train sets, my brother had one that's.
Try to keep this
Yeah.
up.
But
Okay.
All right, we're
so
up,
good.
we're back,
Yes,
we're
done.
back.
the train mural has been discussed, but, and we have some other ideas to try to raise money, once we know you've landed.
Once we know, yeah.
Sounds good. I'll
Good.
keep you posted.
Let's go to the bridge lighting thing, since we can circle back around for project ideas, but let's do the bridge lighting.
Right, we got stuck, responded with a quote, so there's two things we're working on. One of the things that from a couple months ago is we were hoping to get a photo-sense eye on the bridge lights, so the lights would turn off during the day and would automatically turn on at night. And that part is about $400. And he gave us a quote for installing it, which is $4,300 in labor,
Yes,
which is a lot.
of labor. So Ashton and I are thinking about maybe the
Becoming
city.
electricians.
Going to school.
Or the city helping to try to figure out a way to bring that down, and one of the ways that we could bring it down to is probably flagging costs. I wonder if that's,
It's definitely part of the cost for sure.
we're gonna figure this out a little bit more. see if we can save some
They
money.
need to
Did
test
that
it, that's
quote-
why they need flagging.
Did that quote include the light bulbs?
When people stand
Not
Just
the
say
pocket
the
flagging, because it's on the bridge, so you
All I
have to
know,
check.
I can double check, but the material,
I thought it was
it
light
said
bulbs too.
material,
And it's light bulbs.
And it's
yes.
light bulbs, cause didn't
Okay,
they say
good.
replacing all
So
of them?
that's what it was too, was thinking that the city could use its bucket truck to switch out the light. I don't know if it's like an
electrician,
electrician,
light bulb.
yes,
Because it was.
or if it's like, and then you just screw in the other way, right? So that's something Ashton and I need to figure out.
Okay, let's,
Yeah.
With the
Hanging
stuff
Ashton
snow,
hanging from
because
the
they put
bridge.
them on.
Don't worry.
Only late at night.
Do you mean the timer on the bridge couldn't be set up like the timer inside the pavilion, that the city has those lights in there?
So that's what we're trying to do.
Are you telling me that's over $400? Have that installed?
It's the
No,
four lights.
Oh,
So
okay.
This is
converting
what
all
they
the lights
said.
to LED.
Electrical cost to install timer on bridge lights and replace the existing bulbs with LED, approximately 240 bulbs. The cost of materials is $398, and the cost of labor is $4,264. So the bulk of it is the labor cost.
Who's
Stuff.
bid was that?
Okay.
Ouch.
I think some of it is the flagging cost, though. I really do. Because
Yeah,
that
oh,
stuff
for
can get
sure.
expensive.
Well, I can flag.
Well, you have to
I'll
be
flag.
certified, Lucy.
Yeah,
You have to
because
be
I see some of
certified.
the people standing on the side of the road, they're not doing much.
Yeah.
We were certified.
Leo, Chris used to be certified.
Yeah,
We have, yeah, we have, yes.
Is Public Works certified for that?
That's what she
Okay.
asked.
what
Some
she's
of
gonna
them,
check into.
not all of them, but some of them.
Yeah.
Yes, so that's
Easy
Ashton
money.
and Heidi. Follow up.
Okay,
So
action.
follow up.
Should I make
Ashton.
an action item?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do I have to put my name next to it?
Yeah.
Heidi.
Heidi.
If you want, you can sneak my hand in there, Ashton, because I'll wave the flag.
Perfect. See if we can cut down labor.
That labor's crazy.
Stuck by providing flaggers at least.
Well, yeah, I wanna get a breakdown of the labor. Can
Okay.
somebody write, like, do you have the email pulled up? So we can say, alright, yeah, what's the breakdown of the labor here?
You did not break it down.
I know, we need that, so we can kind of understand better.
Okay, good, so
I
that's.
CC'd you on that. Did you reply to him?
Yeah, you told me to keep going.
Yeah,
Is
I
that
said,
you?
go, you got this, Heidi.
I was
I
like,
mean, you send me a request, then I send it to him, and then he sends it back to me, and I forward it to you.
and I said,
I don't mind,
yes, do
but
what you
just
can. He
group
says,
CC.
this is what Ashton. Hi Heidi, this totally makes sense. To ask more. Yes, do what you can. You don't need me. Exactly. I was like, thanks, Ashton.
You
You
got
just
this.
volleyed it over.
I'm just great volley.
Well done.
Yes. It's table tennis, that's what it is.
Okay.
So-
Okay, are we done with the bridge lighting?
I'm throwing Ashton under the bridge.
I'm
So
throwing
that-
Ashton.
On top.
I'm throwing Ashton
That
under the
price gets it set up so they
No more
can do the
throwing.
different
I
lights and
get it.
everything, right?
That's just so the lights turn off by themselves, and so there's
It's
LEDs
because
hopefully the
this
last one.
county was covering the cost until they realized that we had an arm.
No, I know. But we're going for the.
Yes, we're going for actual bridge lighting.
Yeah,
That's a whole nother
It's
ball.
just
That's a long-term
It's
goal.
like,
A real long,
40,
it's a real long time,
80,000.
80,000.
Yes.
and we need the
The
issue
lights
right
are
now
25 or 30.
is even finding an electrical company that is willing to even bid it, because we need to have more than two bids to be able to go for getting a grant. So, yeah.
And
Some
it has some big
challenges.
prospects, but no
Apparently,
one's.
there's not a whole lot of places that do this kind of lighting.
No.
And nobody wants to do the smaller bridge.
Yeah.
So we're fortunate to have them, essentially.
Well, what we have right now is like a
It's Christmas lights on the
Christmas
bridge.
lights that we just leave on the whole year round because they're really cute. What we want is a more permanent, nicer solution that we can change, we can with controls be able to have the colors change for the theme.
But also like actual lights, so it
actual
actually
light.
lights up the bridge and like lights up the infrastructure, so it looks like, I don't know, like the Golden Gate Bridge or something.
That'd be good.
Well,
Yeah.
there's a pedestrian bridge too in Eugene that goes to like the Valley River Center that I don't know if that's what you're trying to achieve, but in my head, it's very beautiful. There's some weird pictures stuff.
I know, I gotta find photos.
In fact, the one in Salem, I think, does that too.
The really fancy
Yeah.
new
Yeah,
one.
one
Yes,
side,
the
Yeah,
That's
the
what's
new
really
one's
good.
really pretty, yeah. We dreamed big and then found out that cost money.
Well, We want a Ferrari, but no, we can only
So we,
afford.
but we have right now
Yeah.
something, and we know
The full-size
it'll
sedan.
do for right now, it's just definitely not a long-term solution, but we wanted to at least have something.
It's an upgrade.
It's an upgrade from nothing.
Mhm.
Okay, cool, so,
We're gonna have to do something soon, because
Um,
the resources are getting older and older.
yeah.
Kick the bucket before I can.
Update from city council, do we wanna do that? You wanna talk about briefly about the task force and how that went? Cause we
Do
were.
you, TK, since you're on it?
Yes,
Yeah.
but I do have to leave for a
Okay.
meeting at 7:15, so let me just.
You go your.
I'll go just a couple of
Yeah.
things. First off, I want to say thank you. Thank you for coordinating and putting together the litter event. It was fantastic. And thank you for being receptive to so many ideas that are thrown at this group. That is very nice to have. And yes, people. So that's very wonderful. You are a receptive group. And thank you again for helping with the sandbags. Yeah, that's a big deal. And I found this little thing, which I thought was kind of cute. It's like Newburgh, and it's just about Newburgh, and of course I like all this wine and stuff. But I was thinking it'd be kind of fun eventually to have like a Sheridan one.
We had that discussion
You
like
did?
3 or 4 years ago, and we were like so excited, and it was supposed to go along with the wayfinding was an idea of this, to have something like this.
Yeah.
With
This
the
is
history
actually,
finding stuff,
yeah,
like on the buildings here that has like the history.
yeah, and the idea was to make like a companion guide that would go along with it with the branding that was like that with the colors, but this is super cute.
It's really
Kinda
cute.
simple.
It is kinda simple.
And I mean, ours would probably just be the 3, maybe.
Yeah.
But anyways, it's kind of cute how it opens like that
It is
too.
very
And then I
cute.
was thinking about maybe asking like Will and Mina if we could put them on
Put
and then do
Combined one?
everything in between, because there's the wolf. What's the place that's in Michigan?
Spirit Mountain?
Well,
No.
there's that too, but there's not a winery, not a brewery.
Oh, the
Yeah.
cider.
Oh, the cider place?
Cider
Kim
place.
Hamlin's
Kim
cider
Hamlin.
place.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, that does the Wildwood Festival, music festival,
Yeah,
yeah.
like all of that. And I don't know if anybody knows, but we are really
That's-
working hard.
That's cool.
Yeah, right. So like you would have on different color lights, so you have the blues would be one color set and like orange would be the other. And then so you could
Yeah,
make
that's
it red and
cool.
green for Christmas or whatever, and it's not shining on anyone's faces and it lights up the interior of the bridge.
Is that the $80,000, that's,
Yeah,
no
that was
problem.
That's 30,000 in
Anyways,
lights
you can
and
use that.
What were you gonna say?
60,000, 50,000 in labor.
Labor.
Are you
Hey.
finishing her bit about?
Sorry, finish.
So I just wanted to let you know we're working really hard. Actually, it's kind of behind the scenes, but we're working really hard on getting all the stuff going at the Southside Park, which is your the fishing pond park. And then Stella Jones called, and they are willing to make a donation of $4,000 to the city for a project. So we're going to use that to do some education material out of the Southside Park, like what kind of fish are in
Oh,
there and who's
to make the walk be like along the walk.
And if I have enough money left, I really want to have like those binoculars, you know, that you see like for whale watching and stuff, so you can look at birds. So anyway, so we're working on that with them, and that's.
Is there intention to concrete the whole walk around?
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy once it's done, and it's gonna be like a whole new place out there. But what is happening right now is it is so difficult to get electricity down into there. But once we get the electricity, we've started to realize like every time we hit a roadblock, it's like, oh wait, we need electricity. Oh wait, before we do all that work, we have to have the electricity in. And so it just keeps coming back to this. And we're working with the prison, who you would think would be difficult to find somebody. They've been easy to work with to get the electricity from them actually to go.
Oh,
You're not with the South Park, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
fishing pond park,
Okay.
yeah. And so just to give you kind of an update on that, there is a lot going on. And GK Machine in Donald, Oregon is donating all of the disc golf baskets for us.
Wow.
And they are actually
Disc golf.
probably going to fabricate, all of them, and try to be a new person in the whole game of making disc golf baskets, which will be one of the first ones in the Pacific
That, if we
Northwest.
had like competitions that could draw in people.
So that's what we're trying to do out there, and you guys can help with that. I'll need help, especially since the tribe put in their disc golf area at the Oregon Park. Like, you know, there's the Fort
Yeah, Fort Yamhill.
Yamhill behind the tribal grounds, and so up in there, there's a new disc golf.
I didn't know that.
Wow.
I used to always walk there.
Yep, and so that's over there now, and so their idea too, they had a a guy that's one of a professional disc golf player, and he lives in Corvallis, and so he helped to design that. And so the goal is to try to get more of that economic development out here. Anyways, especially on the way out to the beach. So, and there'll be a large dog park that Kay's working on. It'll be out
That
there
was
too.
good, yeah.
How much space do you have for disc golf? Like how many
Well,
are
out
you getting?
there, there's like 80 acres, so we're trying, so we're really trying to figure out what all of that looks like. There'll be the front 9 holes and then the back 9 holes.
No
So
way.
it's gonna be split up too.
Wow.
Yeah, it's gonna be a big deal. For this group, I also want you, this will be news to Lucy, but the city is going to be paving and putting in a parking lot. I guess it's actually right behind here.
Oh, good.
Eventually, yeah, once again, guess what we're working on?
Electricity.
So, we gotta get some light poles in there, and then we're gonna add some light poles to go towards the river area too. And actually, we're also adding security cameras underneath the plaza. And with some lighting.
That's great.
So, yeah, that's all in the works. Of course, nothing happens like overnight, but so with with behind here and with all of the efforts that many of you are involved with too, with the riverfront group and doing the plaza work, the restoration work there, I have thought about having a few food carts maybe back behind there, but the city would not want to run those, and so we would need maybe a nonprofit that would want to run those, and so the city can rent it. So this is just like putting my feelers out there.
Like all the time having them there, or like just for events, or?
I don't know. That's what I don't
You
know.
need a nonprofit to manage like the leasing of that. Oh, interesting.
And so maybe having the hookups, essentially just like propane natural gas hookups, because there's
Kind of
already
right here.
natural gas back there.
In the back area,
So
And
how
we would
about
put in a
the
restroom.
pathway, so we.
pathway from the plaza to there, is that in the works?
Yes, Lucy can fill you in on that. But
Okay.
yes, that is all in the works. The
Okay.
engineer's office, the city engineer's office has been working on that with the Hayward family. So that is definitely happening. And Kay has been on that group for a long time too.
Yeah, but Ernie's the lead, and he's been doing a spectacular job.
And we also are now working very closely with the Oregon Marine Board. They're very interested in putting in the non-motorized waterway, I guess.
Water trail.
Water trail.
Yes.
And so it will
Right.
probably start as far out as Grand Ronde
Yeah.
is interested, and then coming all the way through Willamina and Sheridan and Amity, and then all the way at the end is at least Lafayette, if not.
No
further
way.
down.
Nice.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
That's
so
so
there's a
awesome.
lot of people getting
Nice.
really excited about that, and I am too. So hopefully that all works itself out.
Yeah.
And then,
That's what I did.
yeah, so I just think about the food pod thing if you want, and what that
I'm
would
so
look like.
curious what that means.
It would be
Yeah.
more of like a revenue for you. So what it would be is like if this is the parking lot, right? And this is the river, and where that house burnt down, there's some hookups right there, and so there's water.
Where we
and
burned
sewer.
the house down.
Yeah, where we burned where the house was burned. Yeah, okay, so in that general area
Yeah.
would be a spot, like a pad, of course, all this would be paved.
Sure.
So there'll be a pad there, and I was
For food
thinking about,
trucks.
yeah, maybe putting in some food carts back there, and then we'll have a restroom actually kind of where the bathroom used to be at the house. So that kind of a thing. Now that's like a wild idea, but I think that if it would be much easier to put in as we're having it paved than it is to.
Oh, I see.
Well, I went to this place, my daughter took me to this place in South Lancaster, and down State Street, you just keep going straight, and you drive into this parking lot, and there's like maybe, let's just say 10.
I know exactly where you're talking about.
That is such a cool
It's
place.
so cute.
And then they got a hollowed out building with glass garage doors, and they're just tables, and they got a little venue here. They do have a little place for wine and beer, but they also have soft drinks. And then everybody just brings their food from the carts, and they sit at tables, and they eat like picnic, and it is such
And they have
a
a
great.
little fireplace
area.
thingy, it's like very, it
Well,
reminds me
our
of,
group wants picnic tables too, so.
reminds me of,
I'll just drop that idea in and I.
Oh.
Okay.
Great.
thank you. What's the place right before Bend? That's a really cute town. Sisters. It reminds me of Sisters. It has a very cute. Like,
Sisters, Oregon, I used to always
But
say,
Oscar's making.
man, Sheridan could be just like
He wants
Sisters.
a giant one.
Big.
It's really hot, like
Oh.
for eating. So my husband wants
I know, but I know they're not.
Oh, nice.
They're not just
From
like-
Heider up there? Oh, I was like,
No, and then, yeah, anyway, so he
That's
was
really
like,
cute.
honey, I should make a giant one, and we should put like the picnic tables underneath of it.
oh, good idea.
Anyway, so
Cool.
I just thought I'd throw that out there. There's no promises or anything, but it is easier to put in connections.
Yeah.
Oh, I think
Would you
when
need
you're
a
going to
commitment
install it,
to-
there's nothing worse than when you put in a new street.
Cause I think
Then
even
there's
if you
a-
just look at doing it during events,
gas
that
line in or
would
something,
like totally be
like
amazing.
testing.
Yes, try it out,
Try it
exactly,
out, yeah,
try it
see
out.
how it does
So
during events.
all you
and
would
then
need
go
is
from there.
water and electric.
Yeah, we do, yeah,
Because
we
the
need a
propane,
restaurant.
well,
They're
yeah,
usually
but
have-
are you gonna, do you mean a porta potty? Is that what you
Yeah,
mean?
I'm gonna try to have like a real legit bathroom.
Because it's also by a park.
Yeah, and because kayakers and stuff will be coming in.
Because we're gonna be fancy.
At some point. So anyways, this is kind of like my testing ground to see what people thought about
I think it's a great idea.
Have you seen like automated bathrooms?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like you're talking about the Portland Loo.
I was in Napa. I mean, they're,
Oh, I don't know about
yeah, they're self-cleaning and
that. That's
you're,
like the Portland. I think that they're actually made in Portland.
and you can only be in there for X amount of time.
And it's like blue light, so you
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah, they
find
pull
it.
it
like,
pull
how do
it
we-
curtain up.
Yeah, they did
There's some
that.
nice portable ones too.
It sprays water.
It sprays.
The walls go,
Really?
yeah, the
I've heard
walls
that.
go.
There's some nice portable
Visible.
ones, Heidi, and
And
then
then
the
you're
city
like,
could use them more than one
you
So
place.
then you better get.
Well, that's true.
Just a thought.
I must admit, it wasn't.
There's these. Is this what you're kind of talking about?
Yes, I see those in Portland, yeah.
And that would, maybe keep people from doing drugs.
No, this was
inside there.
more of a concrete structure. It was more like a regular restroom.
I
But,
don't think I've ever seen beer
well,
automated
next time I'm in Napa.
Like
I'll
what
Google
is
it next
the,
time.
Tell your husband that's why you have to go.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's a research.
That's exactly right.
Our son had a job and the job's done, so.
Oh, darn.
All right. Well, I have to go soon.
Okay.
To put my.
6 minutes. What do we
Yes.
got?
What do you need from me?
Any update? Should I say something about the task force, how that went?
Did you have a meeting yesterday?
Yes,
You did?
That was very informative.
Yeah, it was definitely,
You needed to lay down a foundation, and I think all that foundational
Yeah.
work was.
yeah, like it was
Yeah.
mainly like,
That's all.
like introducing
Yes.
all the people that were there, what
It was pretty
organizations
cool.
they were representing. There were some individuals as well that were just community members. I think it was kind of getting an orientation on how the basics of how the meeting would run, that it's a public meeting, meaning anyone can watch, but that there wasn't going to be public comment, which I agree with, because honestly, I'm like, how are we gonna get done? Barely what we need to get done was in that hour.
Oh, it's all in now.
It was only an hour, yeah, or at least that's how it was to start. I don't know, I think it probably would be more productive to be 2 hours, but, people's time, so. And,
How many people in the group? That showed up?
There's 14 appointed.
14, yeah, so I think there was a couple that couldn't make it, but for the most part, it was like a good enough. There was only maybe like 6 people in the audience, but there's more people on Zoom that were watching.
And my video got like 60 at least.
Yeah,
It
you
did?
put yours up right away, which
Yeah.
was really nice.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a good way for people to watch it if you haven't seen it.
Yeah.
And it was really good about, defining the House bill and, some of the, propaganda,
Yeah.
refusing, like, well, define homeless, well, you're talking about somebody in a garage, yes. Well, that can't, yes, and, just anybody living in a car, anybody staying at your house that can't afford to pay rent, that's not included as a child, I mean, like, if you were staying with me, you'd be sleeping out in the garage,
Yeah, and I think it was good because it really was like, we cannot even start looking at solutions until we actually identify the problem, and the problem can't be really identified until the count is done, and the count is looking at being done sometime in January. And it was good to also understand who is going to be counted and how that works, and also that it was countywide, so we need to actually think about how are we gonna make sure that
the data that we're looking at is predominantly for Sheridan, and that's why I think the members, like my thought is the members of the task force should be involved in that because we have a decided vested interest in making sure that the information is Sheridan focused, or that we can glean from it the Sheridan information, because otherwise we're gonna like.
I thought that maybe today I was thinking maybe we could mark each one of the surveys or whatever with like a yellow highlighter on the back, and so then we just know.
But you even have to take a class to know how to take the
Yes.
survey to deal with the people that you're gonna run up against, because you don't wanna put yourself in a compromising
Yeah,
position.
I know.
So before you can even go out and do that, you have to take classes on how to prepare yourself for safety reasons.
Yeah.
Where you go, where you do not go, how many people go here, I mean, you know, it's a complex.
It
Three
is.
people.
They have
Yeah,
to
three
it's
people
complex.
together.
Yeah.
And so we really, everybody here, we all need to find people to help us to count. And that is we can do 10 days plus or minus around January 24th.
Yeah.
And so the training will be announced soon, it sounds like.
Soon, hopefully.
But
County
they,
homeless.
Yeah.
but YCAP knows that Sheridan is very interested in knowing more about our numbers here.
Yeah.
So they have also partnered with Encompass Yamaha Valley to make sure that Sheridan really gets focused on for a good count.
Yeah.
So they've given a nonprofit.
I don't wanna get too
And it's
deep
not
into the
funded.
weeds,
It's not funded.
but on the SB, whatever, I know it's very, very general about like exactly what it's law, like what exactly you have to supply to not like
A wa-
SB,
SB Senate
the
bill.
House bill
It's-
or whatever.
It's
Oh.
a warm and dry place.
Uh-huh.
So the basis of it, I mean,
Like a
we
square,
cut all of
like a
this down.
10-foot square, like just a warm and dry place for
Warm.
everybody,
Because
any
a
person.
basic need to humans is the ability to sleep.
Yeah.
We all have to sleep.
And that's if any ordinance can go in
Yes.
related to asking someone to leave public property if they're sleeping, you have to have that. It doesn't necessarily mean that a city ordinance needs to be made to challenge that, but if we wanted to do that, that needs to be in place.
There's
But
also high impact and low impact, and low impact is you must let somebody's drinking, they can come in as long as they're not disorderly and causing problems.
Yeah.
They can bring their dogs, so it's like the cooling center, when I went to the cooling center one,
Mhm.
you can't tell people, you can't do this, you can't do that, you have to decide. And if they do, let's say you did a high impact, then that would mean no drugs, no alcohol, then that means some people are gonna stay outside. And I think the thing they're gonna have to decide is, because they're gonna be outside sleeping on the sidewalks, but then maybe there's a comfort to those who really wanna get help that might wanna be inside, so then you have to make those decisions on how you wanna have that done. Otherwise, they can sleep out on the sidewalks, out on the street, and
And-
you can't tell them no.
the shelter thing is not even something that we're going to even be
Right.
getting into. Mainly,
No.
it's, I think what made sense to me is, this is a very complicated issue. Like, I tried to do research and I spent I'm like 7-8 hours in watching, like going on the Oregon League of Cities,
Yeah.
watching webinars, I reached out to our senator, I reached out to Representative Gomberg, who's been great. I reached out to our county commissioners, and there's a lot of information. That's the thing. There's a lot of information, and Sheridan is one of many cities on the West Coast, not just Oregon, because this was the Ninth Circuit Court, which represents 2/3 of the homeless, the West Coast, this section, 2/3 of the homeless in the whole United States. And Oregon is the 4th highest per capita state, the 4th highest per capita for homeless, and the 2nd for chronic homelessness. It's like, this is not just something that just, randomly decided to be brought up. It was like, this is an issue that is being forced on all cities.
Right.
So that just became more obvious, like reading this stuff. It's like, this is, and there's no simple
Yeah.
solution.
No.
There's no like, this is what you should do. Every
It's
city,
humans.
yeah, and every city
Not all
has
humans
to.
are the same.
And this is why the count is so important, because we can find out, is it predominantly couch surfing? Is it predominantly people that are just passing through?
Yeah.
Is it the chronic homeless that are gonna be doing the camping? Like,
Is there
all of
gonna
that.
be any information as to how they got homeless, like, Are they drug addicts or are they on psychotic
I
drugs?
don't know
Are
on
they
that.
ex-military that have PDS, whatever that is,
So
or
we-
what is, because all we're talking about here is handling the symptom, and if we only handle symptoms,
Yeah.
we're in a
Some-
lot
some
of
of-
trouble,
some
because
of-
a lot of.
Some of the
Well, no,
research.
you are handling the symptoms by giving them somewhere to sleep,
Yeah.
but
Some of the things that I reached out and asked for are there any successful programs for small towns on the West Coast that have implemented? If they are, what did they do? And I have a couple, and it seems like it's not like universally you do this, you do that. It
Of
seems like
course.
you look at the location, you try to identify
that's
those
why you would
things.
need that data.
Yeah,
like-
and I think so
Are
that
they
survey,
ex-
Data driven at this.
I think
gotta
this
be data
survey
driven.
would need to ask those things.
So, okay,
But
so
maybe you can't ask those kind of things.
They don't have to answer, I bet.
Yeah, that's true,
So
but we
that's-
can ask some questions, but we can't keep people there for like 3 years too, so you know what I mean, like,
Yeah.
you can't ask us like a million questions. So when we go through the process of identifying what the required questions are, this is a HUD requirement for the point in time count. And they don't give any money for it, by the way. So this is these nonprofits doing this work out of their own budgets. So we can ask a few extra questions. And so that will be something at housing meeting 2 to look at, which is the questions that are asked and make sure those are the questions that we want answered.
Because it would almost
But in
be like a
addition-
survey, then you would start to see patterns.
Yes,
Yeah.
and you can have oral conversations, of course, as you're
Okay.
engaging with people, and then just document it yourself. Like, what are the things that you're hearing? Because sometimes that, like, qualitative
Yeah.
information can be
Like maybe
helpful.
have our own internal survey that we're keeping
Yes.
track of while
So,
the other
real quick,
one.
Lucy, sorry. Daisha and I have made a little slip of paper that we use at City Hall, and we just hand it out at the library and stuff around town. And we have gotten back a few of them, but we listed about 15 different services and then left an other and said, what would you use? You know, like, what are we, parenting was on there, you know, housing, drug, like all kinds of different services, right? And a lot of people checked a lot of them, even right down to diapers. And one of them under other wrote kindness, and I was like, oh geez. So we have some information, you know, and that is also a part of what is just growing interesting. But the city of Sheridan, the state average median income is around like 72,000, and in Sheridan, I need to double check my number, but I always feel like I need to double check this number. It's like 52. And so that's significant when you start to look at numbers and how you know, it takes a while for an average to change, you know, because there's so many people. And so being that far deviated is helpful too, to understand. And, you know, I've grown up here, TK's grown up around here, and there's just a lot of poverty, like historic poverty with families and generational. So there's a lot to understand.
There
It's starting
is.
to peel back that onion and have these big
It's definitely
conversations
not
in the
a
community.
simple cut and dry, and it's also just from like listening and watching, there's not like a one size fits all solution, and it's definitely not something that we can say it's not our problem.
And when they do the survey, that's why this resource center and the Legion Hall's doing a good job, but it
Yeah.
takes time, and I believe her name was Deborah at the Legion Hall.
Bobby.
Bobby, I'm sorry. And she was saying how you have to earn their trust, and a lot of people think, I don't gotta earn their trust, there's a bunch, and that's why they don't share. And if they don't share, you're not gonna get the data you want. And so the Legion Hall, they've been having meals for like, I think, over a year to a certain degree, and they specialize in
Tuesday.
veterans, but they don't turn anybody down. But these people are finally starting to trust them. So can you imagine the time invested to earn the trust for them to wanna tell you the truth? Because they already know that you think that they're and I use this, and I'm sorry if I do, but they're the modern day leopard. And they know it, and so they don't even want anything to do with you because you don't care and they know you don't. Because like you listen to that Facebook ugly stuff, that's what they think everybody thinks about them. And
That's who speaks.
I mean, if you had a wild kitty and you're trying to tame it, you think you just go over there and love on it and pet it, it's gonna scratch you and hurt you. And, yeah, there's our expert, but, you know, and people are the same way with their feelings.
think they got after us and.
Yeah.
Thanks for all that information.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me
Good
here.
information.
I'm honored to.
I've probably missed my sister. We're 8 minutes
No,
late.
I think
I have to leave.
Okay, good, yeah. I think
Is there
we're-
anything on your agenda
I did
for
not, I
us?
said,
No, I think next time we're gonna talk about the projects and that kind of thing.
Lucy can give the
Before-
updates.
now we're all caught up.
Lucy does probably wanna give
Okay,
some
good.
updates on
Just
city council
before,
stuff.
before, just so that I can actually get this on video, I've had multiple people come and talk to me about one of the main reasons why they're getting so riled up about the homelessness issue is that there is a concern that the rights of the homeless trump the rights of property owners. And I don't think anyone is trying to say that. And in fact, I think getting more information will actually help be able to delineate how homeowners, property owners can be, can protect themselves from issues
And be
and be proactive. And so this, like getting all this information and having a task force is actually something that I think will help homeowners and property owners and anyway,
The city.
the city, yeah,
Yeah,
like
the
I.
whole city.
Well, some people get concerned, like how many days does my couch surfer become have rights, you know, as a squatter like that.
Yeah. So it's also like, I think what we can do is get the actual information in an easy to digest way out there to the public so that they can feel more protected and not threatened by this, but actually protected because they have the actual information, which is obviously, if you're gonna do anything, you actually have the facts, the legal information.
Sorry to leave Lucy hanging. I know she wants to give us.
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I just wanted to say the thing about earning their trust and, you know, it takes time so that you get that data, that you want the honest truth. But at the city council meeting,
Well, there was some discussion at the city council meeting too, and I guess
you mean the workshop or the actual
Oh,
meeting?
the discussion, the workshop, where there's a discussion, a hearty discussion going on, and we need to collect some information, I think, is about, allowing people to have a permit to allow people, unlimited amount of people, come to their property, like their guests and stuff, and to, have their
Motorhome in the on their property or
on
something.
the
or
grass,
camp
but
or-
it's not just motorhomes, it would be anything, so like motorcycles and cars. And so that would be for up to 3 days, right, Lucy? Up to 3 days.
Yes.
The current code says 15 for RVs, solid.
Hard for me to get into some of
Yeah.
them.
Oh.
So this
so-
change would make it be less days?
So currently, the code says, the code, for example, if, say, my Aunt Zelda was coming to visit, okay? And she has an RV, she could park 100% of her RV on my property on a hard surface, whether that be my driveway or maybe I have like a gravel path, okay? And so she can hang out there for 15 days. And after that, Aunt Zelda can either come back to the city, ask for her permit to be renewed for one more time, or she's moving on, or she's gonna go see her next niece or whatever. So that's what's allowed currently. And then there's also a piece where if you're rebuilding your home, you're looking at a big remodel, or you're building a home, and then you can work with the city on that piece too, and stay in your RV. So the proposal is different than that, because it would be based on a property owner having the ability to have an unlimited amount of people, RVs, tents, I don't know, motorcycles was quoted,
Sleeping in the
cars,
cars.
sleeping in a car, sleeping in boats, sleeping in the back of trucks, beds, and so people coming, as many as you can fit onto your property, as long as you have a 5-foot buffer around your property line for your neighbors.
Yeah, setback.
And so that is what's being discussed and what some of the counselors are lobbying hard for. So,
And then they can be on the grass, the tent can be on the grass, doesn't have to be on hard.
yes, the boat, everything, the motorcycles can all be in the grass or in
And
the
what's the
dirt.
goal of doing that?
The goal is
Well, during like August and all that, where it's very dry and people can stop in for hometown days. Let's say they just came in for hometown days, and you don't want them parking on the street, so you can have them, because let's say it's dry, and they can pull in on your yard and put their motor home or their car, and they can stay for hometown days.
But the proposal is for any time,
So
right?
there's
No.
two
No.
ways.
Yeah,
There's two pieces. So it could just be for May to September.
September, yes.
Or the one currently is year round. And so, Aunt Zelda can come in December for Christmas. So that one I don't think should change, because that one is randomly used and it is used well when it is used, right? Like people check in with the city and make sure they get their stuff. And people have out of town guests and their RVs are parked on the hard surface and that kind of thing. So this one is becoming different. It is for that. So if you can give Lucy your feedback, she is your city councilor.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in it.
Yeah,
In
just
that,
wanna-
you like that for an answer? I think there's a compromise,
Lucy?
maybe, conditional use, I know, bring the camera up.
No,
No.
Oh, it doesn't matter, because, maybe a conditional use, if something special is gonna happen, but to have an ordinance that lets that happen all
May through September.
May through September.
Here's
I'm
my
personally-
biggest concern is that we are just trying to understand this issue
Right,
and we don't understand it yet, and
Right.
we know that enforcement of anything related to this topic is very difficult.
Right.
It seems like a very bad time to change something that's been somewhat working.
I mean, I think that's the question, is it not working?
Well, right now, it would be against the rules
To do what?
to put an RV on grounds. Can't do it, it's not in the ordinance. So if you have family that's coming for hometown days and you can't have them park on the street, you want them to park on your yard where it's hard and stuff like that. And the other thought was, instead of getting a permit for an RV, you would be getting a permit for that location.
Yeah.
So it covers the location.
So maybe, that's funny, I didn't even know you had to do any of that, any permits for any of that, like.
I don't think it's relevant because your property is
No,
far
I've got a
enough
property
away.
on the river that like, we had an
Oh,
RV park
okay.
there, but no one was living in it, but I had an RV park there for like 3 months. Just on the driveway.
of course you
But-
can do that.
Yeah, but so if no one's living in it, it's fine.
This is the difference is, yes, stay. So living means that that's like their residence, right?
Sure.
And so this would be both situations. Aunt Zelda is coming to visit and she's sleeping in the RV, right?
Yeah.
And maybe she's cooking us a turkey sandwich, I don't know, in their RV, right? She brings it inside.
Yeah.
And so the
I just
event,
think we're
I feel like
asking
I'm not
for
gonna
it.
understand in this meeting, so I think we should just
Yeah.
go to the next thing.
I just
But-
think that like we're asking, like my opinion is, it just is gonna open, like for the benefit for it,
Yeah.
the can of worms that could
Yeah.
potentially be open just seems like maybe in like a year or two where
Right,
there's like
not
really
right
clearly
now.
defined rules about how to enforce it, but trying to get rid of an RV once it's there is like,
But it wouldn't
Thousands of
be,
dollars.
again, it would be the homeowner's responsibility
but
to get your guest out the door.
but we know code enforcement is very difficult to actually enforce, so
Okay.
like someone's Aunt Zelda passes away and now they've inherited a non-working RV and the city is trying to enforce, it just seems like.
3 days, I hope she
Are we
doesn't go.
okay? Can we go?
Bye, everybody.
Okay,
Thank you for
bye.
your feedback.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I get it.
Anyway, I
Merry
think we're
Christmas if I don't
actually
see you.
done.
Happy holidays, Merry
We
Christmas.
went over by 15 minutes, but
Sorry.
let's do open comment if there's anything that we wanna discuss.
Well, and how about, you, the Hebert Plaza and going to the park, what's happening with that?
they have an engineer that has put in a retaining wall that will secure the plaza from 106.
Ooh,
And then, so you guys can, I talk with pictures. So
Yep.
here's the plaza and here's 106. So if they put a retaining wall up here like this,
yeah,
and then they fill it in,
Ah.
that's gonna enlarge the driveway going into the back, and right here is gonna be a picnic area. So it'll actually give more flatland, because this is the, there is the floodplain, and then there is the,
Floodway.
floodway, thank you, and the floodway is like hands off. The floodplain, you better watch out, and then where the rest of it would be They wanna get some really nice tables that are pretty much, not necessarily, but almost vandal-proof.
Okay.
And they have them in McMinnville, and Ernie's been researching different areas, different maintenance, different designs, handicap, regular people bolt them to the ground, so that's why you don't wanna have them down by the river. If you go look at the river right now, that's why you don't want them bolted down, but they'd be up where they actually fill this retaining wall, which would be basically right outside the cafe.
Right.
Basically almost, but just a little down flush from the current pavilion, but it's absolutely out of the floodway,
Okay.
and,
So you always have a permanent path from the
and
into the
then
parking lot.
if you come down, because you know they do the grades and all this, so
Yeah.
when you come out of the, if you were to go right outside the restaurant and that back door was punched out, it would go level down like this. And the only way that you can make a path for the handicap is to go almost down to where the street is, to go in there, and it'll circle around. Have you ever been to Fogarty Beach?
Mhm.
Okay, think of that in your head. They're gonna do kind of a path like Fogarty Beach, because that's the only way people in a wheelchair handicap can actually get around. And then it'll go underneath the bridge like Fogarty, and it'll be paved or cement or something, and then it'll come out on the other side by Chestermore Park where the grocery store's at.
Okay, to
And you know
join the two parks.
That's right, it'll join the two parks together. We don't need 106 for anything, despite what he thinks, because it'll actually go under the pavilion.
So
just
we're
like
just, you're
Fogarty
just
Beach.
completely kind of bypassing the owner
Just-
of the thing that fell to the water.
It's Stonehead, Sheridan, Oregon, and that's all it is.
Happening, okay.
Which will be
Maybe
very
we'll have
exciting.
cute little otters on it, maybe.
Right, and fish and fish.
Well, he doesn't want anybody on his property, he doesn't want you doing anything with
But
his stuff.
doesn't his
Oh,
property exist in Phantom Land, because the ground is not his property, right?
No, the ground, not all the way to, in the summertime, not all the way to the river is. He has almost where the pilings are. Let's
So he
think
has
of the
pilings
pilings.
right now.
He owns pilings and the dirt underneath them surrounding him, a little bit more than that, you know.
Good
But
to know.
in the summertime, when the water's down, there's a nice beach that you could just go right in front and go that way, but you can't, will be able to go underneath.
That's really good that you guys found a
That's so
solution,
great.
that you don't need to worry about having to play ball with him.
You don't have to play
That's
ball.
great, that's really, really great, I
So
love that.
it took a little bit more work, but it'll make a nice park for the citizens of Sheridan to come down and enjoy the river and do everything. And then the boat landing will be at the far end.
And Whitecap or whatever is like, is thumbs up on that?
Whitecap is with,
Sorry, whoever I need to
the,
talk to for the river people.
that is
The river people.
the water, the state water, they're actually working with Ernie, and they're wanting to do this water trail. And Sheridan's just gonna get their part done, and then we're gonna invite Willamine and Grand Run and Amity and Lafayette and all
So
Dundee. But we're just gonna get ours ready, because there's plenty of room for people with little kids, your little Boy Scouts.
I'm so excited.
From Rock Creek
Yeah.
to Sheridan, they're gonna be pooped. It'll probably take them about an hour if they're fooling
I
around.
wish that would be possible.
But you can have more, and maybe they'll be so tired of like running a puppy.
And then we can have the floatable, like races that we talked about,
Yes.
where anything that floats you can ride and put on.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, I think that's great.
Yeah,
Oh, real quick, the Rotary is working towards with the Kiwanis next year to do the duck races. So that instead of one day shared hometown days, it'll really be hometown days. Because
Is that
that's
the
the
day when
goal.
the duck races?
Maybe or Friday. We haven't decided yet.
What's the duck races? You put a duck at the top and see.
These
These
rubber
little
duckies,
plastic
rubber
ducks,
duckies.
yeah. And
And
then
also,
you catch 'em. But it's a raffle, you bet on. Or
but
not.
also too, these really nice park benches are being donated by the Rotary.
Yeah,
And they would like to have them ordered and written off for the books for 2023, so they are hopefully planning on ordering those very soon. We're just trying to get the best tables.
The
for
problem
money
is
that we're gonna donate.
we'd like to get 4 picnic tables, 2 large ones that are 8 foot, and then 2 smaller ones. But the cost is more than $4,000. It's actually the total with shipping is like $6,000 and some. So Rotary says, I've got $4,000 to give to you guys. Okay, but we gotta figure out how to get 2,000 more.
And if you get 4 of them, you get $500 off the
Yes.
purchase price. So of course, they wanna get the 4th table, and I
Yep.
think Rebecca's are thinking maybe they might wanna,
Uh,
they might
maybe.
not, but you know.
So if this group
Put the
would
word
like
out.
to chunk in some money,
Can
we
you
take it.
email me that information?
Yeah,
Sure.
the
Pass
best.
it around to a few people that I know.
Okay.
Okay, anything else?
I want to talk to you.
Okay,
We're
anything
excused.
else before we end off? Okay, we're done.
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 You're dismissed. Get out of here.